First off, we have this Olympic team selection announcement, and this got our colleague Ian Dilley particularly riled up because he saw on the men's team a couple people were missing who he thought were shoo-ins. One, of course, is Chad Haga. Ian is friends with Chad Haga. He's a fellow Texan. They raced together, and he won the final stage, the individual time trial of the 2019 Giro d'Italia. Seemed like he was Team USA's one of their absolute shoo-ins for the Olympic team, but he did not make the cut. What does this mean?
Well, I mean, a thing to consider there, these are long list, but he's not on there. He can still get on from what we understand. They can still add to these long lists. I guess they don't have there's no more automatic selection races to be had. But the thing that USA Cycling is considering here is that they can only take 2 men for the road events, and those same 2 people that race the road race will have to also race the time trial. So they need a balanced team, and that Mount Fuji road course, you're going to need some climbers on that team, which, you got Sepp Kuss in there, you got Howes, and some other riders that may be up to the job, will be up to the job, let's hope.
Ian talked to Jeff Pierce, the director who made the selections at USA Cycling.
My good friend, Chad Haga, who won the final stage of the Giro d'Italia in 2019. Obviously difficult decisions have to be made, but it does seem like someone like Nielsen Palace or Brandon McNulty, these are incredible riders, but results at the World Tour level aren't quite there on par with riders like Joey and Chad.
Somewhere the line had to be drawn, and that's always hard. We'd like to include everybody and recognize everybody, but we had, for instance, all these teams populated mostly by automatic nominations, and what was the appropriate level, or how many guys should we have on the team? And there was a lot of time spent discussing the fact that, all right, these guys still can earn a spot on the long team through, outstanding performances. And so, like I said, it's not done yet, and very hard not to have those guys on the list. But at some point, it also didn't feel maybe completely appropriate to have a list of 10 guys going for 2 spots, and 8 of them being, maybe discretionary nominations. We have 9 women that had earned automatics for 4 spots on that side of the equation. So lots of different sort of discussions happening in that realm, and a lot of focus on what is going to happen in a standalone 1-day time trial event, what's going to happen in a standalone 1-day road race, and those are not easy to predict. There are some other riders that we haven't mentioned that have already stated they're going to let their legs do the talking, and they intend to make the team as well. So we'll see how that plays out.
He already has a lot of emails from riders across the discipline saying, hey, you made a mistake by not putting me on the long list, and I'm going to go out and race this fall and prove why. Hope is not lost for them. Chad Haga, he still has a chance of going to Tokyo in 2021 and competing for Team USA. What this long list essentially means is the riders who made it, they are being considered for selection. They can't be taken off the long list, and there is no more there are not going to be any more automatic selection races. So Team USA, there are 2 riders who are automatically going to the Tokyo Olympics. They are Chloe Dygert, who is the world champion individual time trialist. We saw her just smash the ITT in Yorkshire. And Kate Courtney, the former world champion cross-country mountain bike superstar. So they are definitely going to be in Tokyo. Everyone else, they still have to prove it. They have to let their legs do the talking to make the final list. But, nothing's finalized except for those 2.
Well, I sent an email as well to Jeff, so let's see if I can make the list. Interesting names also. Quinn Simmons is not on that list, and Ben King. We're going to see how things shape up and when those Olympics happen as well. Michael, what's your take? Who's the biggest miss on these long list?
For me, it is Chad Haga. I thought that Chad's ride at the Giro d'Italia proved that he was ready for something bigger. He, admittedly, he took a hit. He did not have the performance that he expected at the Yorkshire World Championships. So that probably impacted things. Lawson Craddock, I think that he is a really, really strong selection for both the road race and the time trial. He's going to be reliably strong in the road race, whether he's working on the front, going in a breakaway. He may even still be good in the finale. But then, you have a rider like Sepp Kuss, who is just so well suited for the road race at Tokyo. He's not going to make a huge splash in the individual time trial, but for Team USA, would you risk not taking somebody who has that climbing capability? What's the calculus? You're weighing up, Chad Haga having a really good ride in the time trial versus Sepp Kuss having a really good ride in the road race. It's a tough choice, and I wouldn't want to be in the chair to make that selection. And I think that ultimately what we're going to just see is, on top of the pressure that all these riders already have competing in all the races in this proposed 3-month-long calendar, on top of that, they have to be thinking about 2021 and the Olympic selection, because these next 3 months are crucial for that as well.
Let's hope the Olympics happen, because coronavirus is still going around. 4 years ago, it was Zika, and remember, TJ Van Garderen made the list 4 years ago and decided not to go because his wife was pregnant with their second child, and he thought it was safer not to go. So who knows with how things are going in the world.